Procrastination is like this vulture that just won't leave. It's like, I was trying to be better. I was trying to be a better me, but then you came in and tried to delay me. Okay, why? Everybody deals with procrastination because we just don't want to do the things that stress us out or are boring or that are hard to do. It's like we'd rather just push it off until next week or maybe next month. And it just becomes this thing where it's like you push it further and further, but you eventually still have to do it, right? And that's when it becomes even more stressful. And so it puts a burden on people that already have anxiety about doing what they have to do. I'm stressed out because I was stressed out about it, and it just becomes this cycle. For me, procrastination took a real toll on my life. It really affected me because a year had gone by and then another year had gone by and my life was completely the same. I had the same job doing the same thing with the same people. And it's like, if you know anything about God, he never wants us to be in the same position for too long. It's like, okay, you've been here for a year. You've been doing this for a year. You're dealing with the same struggles, right? Maybe the same sin, right? That's procrastination. I'm okay with it to the point where I'm going to keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And that's just not how life works. So I had to really step back and be like, okay, what works for me, right? Knowing how I am, knowing what I deal with, how can I conquer this thing? And I got a few tips for you, so keep watching. Say you want to work out for an hour, right? That's a big task in my book, working out for an hour. So the first step would be figuring out what you're going to wear, right? Like, okay, let's lay my clothes out so I don't have to do that in the morning, right? Let's say the only time you have is in the morning, right? Afternoon and night, you're busy. All you got is early in the morning before work. So you lay out your clothes the night before. That's the first step. The second step would be figuring out what route you want to take, right? Whatever fits your fancy, right? I want to walk in the park, or I want to take the bike trail. Do you see the trend? The trend is I'm breaking it down into smaller pieces, saying this is a big task, but if I break this down into smaller pieces like a puzzle, we can conquer it. I don't want to do this workout right now because it feels like a big task. But if I break it down, it won't be a big task anymore. It'll just be something broken down that I have to do step by step. When I was working on my coloring book, at the time, it was so much work to be done, right? It was creating the quotes and creating the designs and, trying to figure out what works best with this. And I always needed breaks. Like it was never going to be a time where I didn't need a break. And so what I would do was I would listen to music for a few minutes, or I would look at a comedy video. That always helped me because it made me laugh and it made me feel good. And ironically, even though the task was stressful, taking those breaks helped me get back rejuvenated to get back in. It's called the Pomodoro technique, where you give yourself a break in between tasks. So let's say you set the timer for 25 minutes to work on your presentation, right? And you say, okay, I'm going to give myself a 10-minute break after this timer is done, right? That'll really help you know that, okay, there's only a set limit, a set time for the things that I have to do. And once that timer goes off, I could do what I want to do for that amount of time. What are you doing during that break, right? Are you listening to something that'll make you laugh? Are you listening to something that'll make you cry to relieve the stress? Or what are you doing so that you could get back into it, right? It's about mental rejuvenation and longevity. That's what helps me. My mom sometimes works at home, and we've noticed that every time she starts to get intentional about going on her computer, getting work done, our dog gets up, walks over to her and starts whining to play, right? And we're like, wait, when we were watching TV and doing absolutely nothing, he wasn't around. But when we started to get intentional, when she started to get serious and do work, that's when he wanted to come and play. And we just thought it was so funny. It's like, oh, he's a distraction. And although he doesn't mean to be, that's what it is, right? A distraction. And it's the same thing when it comes to your procrastination. You have so many distractions. It's no way you can get anything done. Netflix, right? Whatever the devil comes with, Netflix, Instagram, food, the dishes that just had to get done right here today. You know, like, it's so many distractions, and you have to say, away with the distractions. I got work to do. I got to make time for it. I got to say to myself, this has to get done. And it doesn't matter what's on TV or who's texting me. I got to get this done. And you could even like put your phone in another room, in the drawer, right? Taped up, right? Maybe even super glue it. No, yeah, just getting rid of the distractions. Whatever you got to do, get rid of them for however long it takes you to get that task done and completed. So just a little side tip, right? A little plus. Instead of saying, I have to do this, or why do I have to do this? Say, I get to do this, right? And I know it may sound corny, but it's the truth, right? If you're a business owner, congrats. Like, you have something that the market wants, that people want, and you came up with that, right? That God helped you with that. And that's just truly a blessing, truly a gift. And whatever you have to do to keep that business afloat, you should be like, wow, I get to do this. I get to help people. Same thing with people that have to go to a 9-to-5. It may not look like it, but they are extremely grateful for you. Okay, when I was, doing DoorDash deliveries and things like that, some people looked down on me, but there was more people that were so grateful for what I did instead of looking down on me, right? Like back in 2020, right? They didn't have to get out the house because there was people like me delivering things to their door. So it doesn't matter what you do, say, I get to do this. God has given me the gift to help someone, right? I'm not just, up in the house doing nothing, eating bonbons. I'm doing something. And so just look at it like that, and your life will change. Your life will change. The better you will appear when you decide to get the things that will change your life, when you decide to do them now and not later. And on that note, I hope this video blessed you. Have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.